They tell you Andrew Carnegie gave away almost all his money. They tell you he built libraries, concert halls, and universities. They tell you he believed the rich had a moral duty to serve society. All of that is true. What they rarely ask is a harder question. What had to happen first for all that generosity to exist? Because before Andrew Carnegie became history's greatest philanthropist, he became something else entirely. This is the story of how a poor immigrant rose to unimaginable wealth, the habits that made it possible, and the uncomfortable cost behind them. The rise. Andrew Carnegie's story begins far from American steel and skyscrapers. He was born in Dunfermline, Scotland, into a family so poor that survival itself was uncertain. His father was a handloom weaver, a skilled trade that was slowly being erased by the Industrial Revolution. When steam-powered looms arrived, his father's livelihood collapsed almost overnight. Carnegie watched this happen as a child, a proud craftsman rendered useless by progress. That moment mattered. In 1848, the family sold nearly everything they owned, borrowed money, and crossed the Atlantic to America. Not chasing luxury, but survival. They settled in Pittsburgh, a growing industrial hub, but poverty followed them there. At just 13 years old, Carnegie left school permanently to work. His formal education would total fewer than 5 years. This is the first habit that defined him. Habit number 1. He learned faster than everyone else. As a telegraph messenger boy, Carnegie didn't just deliver messages. He memorized names, faces, routes, and relationships. He learned who held power in the city and how information flowed. By 17, he could hear Morse code and translate it in his head, a rare skill that caught the attention of Thomas Scott, a senior executive at the Pennsylvania Railroad, then the largest corporation in the world. Scott hired him, mentored him, invested in him. Carnegie had found something more valuable than money: access. Habit number 2. He positioned himself near power. Working for the railroad gave Carnegie a front row seat to modern capitalism. He learned logistics, scale, leverage, and crucially, ownership. Scott encouraged him to invest. Carnegie listened. This was the moment his mindset shifted from earning wages to owning systems. During the Civil War, Carnegie avoided combat by paying for a substitute, legal at the time, and instead profited from wartime demand. He noticed a critical weakness. Wooden bridges burned easily. Iron bridges didn't. He launched Keystone Bridge Company. But this is where his genius truly appeared. Habit number 3. He controlled the entire chain. Carnegie didn't just build bridges. He owned iron mills that supplied them. And once bridges were built, he supplied the rails. From mining to iron to bridges to railroads. This is vertical integration, a strategy still used today by companies like Amazon, Tesla, and Apple. Carnegie wasn't selling products. He was building systems that fed themselves. The rise was extraordinary. But this is where the story begins to shift. The justification. Carnegie publicly believed in progress, efficiency, advancement. And at first, it seemed sincere. Then, in the 1850s, a new invention changed everything. The Bessemer converter, a method that made mass steel production possible. Steel meant skyscrapers, railways, cities. Carnegie moved instantly. Habit number 4. He adopted new technologies without mercy. He built America's first modern steel plants, hiring elite engineers and pushing efficiency relentlessly. Workers labored extreme hours. Plants ran almost non-stop. Machines replaced people whenever possible. Carnegie even believed machines were superior to men, not morally, but economically. Machines didn't unionize, they didn't strike, they didn't demand higher wages. Publicly, Carnegie spoke about workers' dignity. Privately, he reduced labor to a cost variable. This is where the justification began. Progress requires sacrifice, and it was always someone else sacrificing. Habit number 5. He let others do the dirty work. To manage his empire, Carnegie hired Henry Clay Frick. Ruthless, precise, obsessed with margins. Frick handled layoffs, wage cuts, union resistance. Carnegie handled speeches, essays, and philanthropy talk. This separation wasn't accidental. It was strategic. The most revealing moment came in Homestead, Pennsylvania. The moral breaking point. Homestead. Homestead steel was massively profitable, but labor costs remained high. Frick demanded longer hours and lower pay, but the workers refused. So, Frick locked them out and brought in replacement workers, protected by armed Pinkerton agents. What followed became known as the Homestead massacre. Gunfire, death, bloodshed. 9 workers killed. 7 Pinkertons dead. Thousands injured. And where was Carnegie? In Scotland. Publicly silent. The justification collapsed. The reckoning. Despite Homestead, the steel empire thrived. By 1900, Carnegie still produced more steel than all of Great Britain combined. But Carnegie was aging, tired, and aware that public sentiment was turning. In 1901, J.P. Morgan offered to buy the company. Carnegie wrote a number on a piece of paper. Morgan accepted instantly. The price? $480 million. Roughly 2% of US GDP at the time. Carnegie became the richest man alive. And then he disappeared. Habit number 6. He tried to control the ending. Carnegie dedicated the rest of his life to philanthropy. Libraries, universities, concert halls, education. Over 2,500 libraries worldwide. He gave away nearly everything. But here's the unsettling question. Was this generosity? Or was it reputation management? Carnegie believed wealth was dangerous in the wrong hands, even in his own families. So he gave it all away. Habit number 7. He believed legacy matters more than approval. Andrew Carnegie died in 1919. History remembers him as both a builder and a destroyer, a philanthropist and an exploiter, a man of progress and contradiction. And that tension is the point. Andrew Carnegie didn't fail like Elizabeth Holmes. He didn't collapse in disgrace. He succeeded. And that may be more unsettling, because his story forces us to ask, if wealth is built through systems that harm people, does giving it away at the end make it right? Or does it simply let history feel more comfortable? That question still matters today. If this video helped you, like it, subscribe, and drop a comment.